Okay, perfect. So thank you everyone for tuning in to this week's AMA. As always, we do love the AMAs here week in, week out. So happy to see a bunch of you here as well. You know, a special month, Vamptober. So yes, okay. First announcement is regarding LairTV. Okay, so essentially I've been doing my best with these LairTVs. They've been a very fun route, and I am not really sure if I could. According to my Twitter profile, I am 2D ASMR. So yes, I am enjoying the appreciation for my special ASMR voice actor life. And we will be having another episode of Lair TV this Friday with an AMA attached. So obviously the Lair TVs are kind of like hosted by us, hosted by SVS. We have guests come on and we ask questions, yada yada yada. But this Friday is gonna be a little bit different. Um, but we will announce it in just a couple of minutes. We'll go through the other announcement first, right? As always, I'm always very, very happy to see that whenever we do a spaces, and Lair TV, we see so many other people, so many usual people join. So I hope to see many of you there as always. The timing is some super obscene fucking timing, so I have to wake up at like some super obscene early morning hour just to do it. But hopefully it turns out good, and I see many, many of you guys there. Personally speaking, I think that Lair TV and Twitter Spaces and AMAs are one of the easiest and personally most fun way for us to be able to kind of get exposure and kind of it's a good experience overall being able to talk to people like that, right? Thank you, thank you.
Okay, so the next one is about the champagne. I know a lot of people have been saying since they've seen some people posting it on Twitter, but haven't received their bottles yet. So we were in contact with the fulfillment center to see exactly what was going on, and it did turn out that they didn't send all of the orders out at first. They just sent out a selection. Because they wanted to see, how quick they got there, along with if people were getting hit with hefty customs bills and things like that. So the ones that you did see on Twitter last week were sort of almost like test orders that they sent at first, and the majority of bottles weren't sent alongside those. But having spoke to them today, all bottles up to people who have ordered yesterday were shipped today. So every bottle that has been ordered is now in transit. So everyone should be receiving it over the next few days, or perhaps up to a week, depending on where you are. We also asked them, because it turned out that they weren't sending tracking numbers for them, so we have asked for all of the tracking info. So we're going to try and get that sent over to everyone as well. So if you haven't received your bottle yet, you'll be able to track to see exactly where it is. And then on top of that, obviously, as they've all been fulfilled now, if you do want to burn your chalice and place an order, they will be shipped out pretty fast, and you should be getting them in your hands a few days after that. So if you're on the edge on whether you want to purchase it yet, I suggest you can do it now, and you will receive your bottle pretty fast.
Next one's you, Fred, if you're not paying any fucking attention.
Yeah, yeah. So Pixel Vampiresses update. They are pretty much close to ready. There's just a bit.
Yep, yep.
Yep, we've noticed some traits are missing, so we've asked for those to be completed very quickly. And yeah, so hopefully this weekend they'll be dropping, and yep.
Oh my god, yep. Yep. Essentially the pixel vamps are ready to go and drop, and then but we're just waiting for a few of the final trades to be finished up. Is that right, Freddy?
That is correct. We saw a few missing at the very end, unfortunately.
Can I get another yep from you, please?
Yep.
Also, the pixel vamps will be tied to the main collection, yes?
Yeah, like you'll be able to claim it, so you can like retract it from the old owner, I guess, if you purchase the Vampiress. So it'll be attached to the Vampiress.
That sounds very lovely. Can you get a lovely?
Lovely.
How do you spell yap, Freddy? That's what they're asking. Oh, you don't pronounce it that way, I think. Damn. Yep. What about Lovely? Love. Look at this fucking chat. Lovely. Okay. So, very lovely. Thank you, Freddie, for the announcement. Yep. Sorry, Freddie's been a bit slow. He had a really wild weekend, I heard. But he's recovering now safely, Almost got taken to the hospital. Truly insane stuff. Okay, so um with what we have coming on Friday, this Friday, is that of the partnership event that we have with Degenerative Dungeons. So essentially, we're very excited to announce that our beloved friends over at Generative Dungeons. I'm so sorry, I keep calling it Degenerative Dungeons. Just crypto habit. So our beloved friends over at Generative Dungeon will be hosting events this Friday. Um, sorry, I think it's Thursday for the EST timing. Sorry, it's Thursday. It's this Friday for me because you know uh, I'm from the future. So that will be this Thursday. Okay, and then we have been invited. SVS has been invited to be part of this event to further our existing partnership with them. Right. So this will be able to bring more awareness to SVS, right? So they're hosting an event with a bunch of other crypto projects, NFT projects, I should say, and SVS is one of the leading ones in this event. Um, and what's going to happen is they're going to be doing AMAs and Twitter Spaces with each event. So, man like 2D, very handsome voiced, handsome looking man, caramel man like me will be doing the space with Generative Dungeons on Friday. It'll be Friday for me. It will be Thursday. I'm not too sure what time it is yet. It should be 8 p.m. EST. So I shall wake up bright and early, whatever time that is, and we will be doing a Twitter Spaces with them, just to kind of celebrate the event and celebrate everything that's going on, and kind of pushing our name out there so people get as much exposure to us as possible, right? So it's very simple to be able to do these Twitter Spaces and LairTV episodes, but this is like a little bit more of deeper concept, and it's very cool and it's exciting to be able to work with familiar projects, right? So and other people within the space, right? So this is obviously uh, another project that's built around innovation and stuff like that. So pushing the boundaries of the NFT space and Web3. And obviously, as much as we do Twitter Spaces with every other as many projects and NFT projects and Web3 people that we can find, this is a pretty interesting one, I think, as they are heavily based around game and events. So I think this is very natural, and I can't wait to be speak to them. Right? Yeah, you still play it. That's amazing. Yeah. So I think I think they've done some really cool stuff personally, and it shall be amazing to be able to speak to them and kind of get exposure to their audience as well for us, right? So we look forward to we're gonna try get some information out, infomercial out, right, Ryan? We can
Yep, yep.
get like some tweets out probably. Yep, yep. So
Yep.
we shall push the details out to everyone very soon
Lovely.
when we have the final timing done, which you will hear my voice on the Twitter Spaces. So yes. So soon as we have everything ironed out, I know it's definitely happening. We're just not sure what time slot. The best speaker of the day will be, aka me. So once we figure that out with them, we shall be pushing it out everywhere for you guys to see and spread the word. Thank you, Dare to Go and Blaze and Blades. That is very much so appreciated.
Okay, and then the final announcement of today, we had a similar one last week, and this is about the Halloween event. Obviously, we went through last week, for those who weren't here, sort of pros and cons for having a real event, a real live person event for the Halloween, or whether to do more of an online event. We've always planned over the last few months that it was going to be a physical event, but obviously with October the 31st creeping up now, and how many people would actually be able to attend the event. A lot of people mentioned that a virtual event may be better, with it being interactive, everyone's able to attend. We can do some sort of competitions, things like that, for everybody to enjoy, and that would also mean it could almost be spread across a couple of days as well, and have a few things going on the days leading up to Halloween. But we just wanted to bring it up again today, because we're going to be posting a snapshot, an official snapshot made by us, shortly after the AMA ends today, asking for people's votes on whether they want a real life person event or whether they want it to be online. We're also going to outline some of the pros and cons that people have brought up for both, to help you with your decision. And then obviously once that ends, and there's the final announcement on exactly what will be going ahead, that'll be when we can start to roll out the information of what will be happening. Over the last few months we have been planning for the real life event, obviously, but since people mentioned the virtual event a few weeks ago, we've been making some plans for how we can make that fun as well. We don't want to just put an online event that everyone can turn up to and have it be underwhelming, so we definitely want there to be interactive aspects, prizes, competitions and things like that, and we've been thinking of some things on how that can go down, and it's not just going to be boring for everyone, but everyone can attend and have almost as much fun as if it was in person. So if people do have suggestions as well on how that could go down, be sure to message one of us or put them in community suggestions or something, because we want to try and integrate as many community-based ideas into that event if it happens as well. So keep an eye out in announcements after the AMA ends, and we'll be posting an official snapshot where you can cast your vote on which one would be most appealing for you.
Perfect. I think that was great explanation. So does anyone have any brief questions before we go on to like the questions that we listed down? I think there's none, right, Ryan? I will give it like a minute or two buffer before we go on to the rest of the questions, I think, right?
Yup.
Yep. Could we get some that's our thoughts as well, Blazed Blades. So
I
that's
think
the
there is a
whole reason
question
why.
that we'll come to later on what our thoughts are, so
Correct.
we can touch on that a bit more.
Yep. Okay. I think we can begin with the questions then. So we're just gonna run through these with as much detail as we can without wasting too much of your guys' time. You guys are gonna hear my voice in less than 2 days, so there shouldn't be a problem. Okay. First question for Ryan. Ryan, if I order the champagne now, when will it be shipped?
Yep, so I did just touch on it, but we'll go through it again. That if you do order the champagne now, it should be quite a quick turnaround. Obviously, there's been a lot of problems come up with the champagne, and almost a lot of the process has been delayed along the past few months. But now that all of the original orders have been shipped, we'll almost be aiming to get them shipped as fast as possible as soon as any orders do come in. So ideally, once you do place an order, within a couple of days it will be shipped, and then a couple more days you should receive it. The worldwide ones are going out with FedEx, expedited, so no matter where you are in the world, it shouldn't take more than a couple of days once it is shipped to reach you. So like I mentioned before as well, if you have been on the fence about burning your chalice to get the champagne, doing so now is a good opportunity as ever. You should be able to get it pretty fast. Obviously, if we do this virtual event as well, maybe we can pop some bottles if you have one in your hand on the day as well. So we'll be doing some competitions as well. One of them will be involving getting some free bottles out to people as well. So if you don't have a chalice or you haven't burned it or anything, hopefully some more people can get their hands on them as well. But yeah, if you have been thinking about purchasing one, you should be receiving it no longer than around a week or so after you do place the order. So if you have been thinking about it, be sure to do so. The next question is, are there any plans to allow holders to post items and services for sale in the blood shop? This would be a great way to add utility to blood. I would love to be able to offer my services in exchange for blood, and I'm sure lots of others would too.
I think that this is a pretty cool idea, and it's probably a way for us to kind of expand the blood shop. And to see how we can, what's the best way to put it, how we can make this like as functional, as innovative as possible. But definitely this is a very cool idea, and it's something that we're going to be taking to consideration, right? It's just that it might be a little bit hard to moderate. Um, might be a little bit hard to moderate and kind of oversee and scrutinize how things will be done. Correct, feed pigs for blood. Never know what's going to happen, right? So I think a few things would be very cool. Yeah, correct. So maybe like chatty artwork for blood. Um, uh, 10-minute FaceTime with 2D Vamp. Okay, maybe not. Big Daddy Thrall monologue would be all very nice. Correct. So I think overall it is a super cool idea, and it's something that we will try to implement. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit difficult to see how it can be done, but we are keen on it, and we're going to see how we can get it done best. Apologize. Next question is, I didn't receive tracking for my champagne. Is that normal? Will it just arrive?
Yes, it is. So originally for the orders that were placed during the wave 1 that were shipped out, we didn't actually get tracking from the fulfillment center. So the orders that you have seen on Twitter, they just turned up at the people's doors, and tracking hasn't been sent up to now. Like we mentioned before, all bottles have been shipped of orders that have been placed up to now, so they are en route, and we asked them today if they could provide the tracking numbers so that people who haven't yet received them can see exactly where the bottles are. If it gets stuck in customs or anything like that, people need to know what's going on with it. It's not ideal for people to just expect it to turn up at their door, so we will be sending out tracking as soon as we get it over from them, which should be over the next day or so. People should receive their tracking numbers so they can keep an eye on where the bottles exactly are.
Okay, next question is for Fred. Is it possible to get email/text notifications for whenever a Bloodshop item is fulfilled?
So this is definitely an interesting idea. But for the blood bags, where you can like choose the gift card that you want, you get it via email. So already there, you get a notification. And for the Bloodshop raffles, we post like a list of all the winners in the announcement, so that should also let you know whether to check if you want or not. I think this is mainly for the Bloodshop purchases, right? Where you purchase gift card. So we do aim to like have that fulfilled as soon as possible. But we do post an announcement when it is fulfilled, so that should also let you know to check. So yeah.
Very good, very nice.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, the next question is, I really don't think we should have a physical event in a market like this. What are your guys' thoughts?
Apologize, I keep coughing. Yep. So I do think that our thoughts are exactly the same. I don't think this is an ideal environment or circumstance to have a physical event, because at the end of the day, these kind of physical events, which we spend big money on and high cost, can have a very bullish outcome for us as a whole, the community, the floor price, everything, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, it's not beneficial to force an event like this when the market is not conducive to give us the kind of response or reward that we want from it. So we're going to be focusing on a virtual event. Party at 2D's house in 2023 might be a little bit difficult, but for this year, we're going to be doing a virtual event. And I think this is probably the best way, because we can get everyone to come together. It's low cost. We can also have a good time. Everyone can attend. It's interactive, and it's amazing. Well, this is what we think. This is what we think will be the best way. We will be putting up a vote for everyone to see, but personally, we think that it probably will be the best way for it to be virtual. We had some cool ideas last week. MJ mentioned a Zoom party, a Zoom happy hour party with the boys and the girls, whoever wants to join and hang out, kind of get a bit closer with everyone. And it all sounds like it should be quite a lot of fun, actually. Yap. Okay, next question is for Ryan. What do you think about moving the weekly AMAs to Twitter Spaces to get more of an outside audience?
Yep, so this is a question that's come up quite a lot ever since the beginning of SVS, really. We've always
We
held
tried
them
this last year, actually,
within the
remember?
Discord, and yeah, we did try it. We have done a couple of our AMAs on Spaces, and it kind of is a good idea because, like the question said, you get more of an outside reach. But that is also why we brought in the LairTV. We kind of want the AMAs to be, people who own Vamps. We see the same faces week in, week out. Within the Discord, and the AMAs really are focused about what we've got coming up, and then questions that people who own Vamps and our regular communities have. And we felt that when we did them on Twitter, we didn't really get the sort of community feel of exactly being able to address the people who are in here week in, week out, because Twitter Spaces is more just for like general talks and chit chat and things like that, not necessarily just having people who own the Vamps. But having said that, there are some weeks obviously where people can't attend in the Discord, and it would be good to get some outside ears listening. So maybe this could be something that we could consider moving the AMAs to Twitter Spaces, but also as long as we do have the sort of Lair TVs and the crossovers with other communities and partnerships and things like that, we do feel that there is almost a good room for both, where we can have the Discord AMAs for the community that we do our week in and week out, and then we have the Twitter Spaces with the outside reach being the Lair TVs and the chats with other founders and things like that.
Yeah,
But it
that
is
seems to
definitely
be the
something we can
perfect fit.
look into again if people do want them to be on Twitter Spaces. But we do also like having them in the Discord as like a
Yeah, because at the
community
end of the
thing.
day, yeah, because we talk to you guys, it's pretty interactive. You guys type with us, we speak, we chat, we hang out. Like Blazing Blade said, it's more personal. We do get to connect with you guys on a higher level and higher level, and then we get to just do the Twitter Spaces to be able to grow our reach outside anyway, right? Didn't mean to cut you there. Sorry, Ryan.
No problem, anytime. The next question is actually along those lines, saying, do you guys have any more Lair TVs lined up?
Yep. So one of the things that we do when we speak to anyone that's new is that we try to organize the LairTV/Twitter Spaces, just to kind of boost our reach and to get more effectiveness. Just simple things that can be done, that can be pushed, and have a positive impact on us, right? So we're always looking to do more LairTV. We have the one with Generative Dungeons this week, and then we're speaking with some people, and hopefully we can get them lined up and try to do one a week like we used to do earlier in the year. Okay, the next question's for me. You can ask me next question, Ryan, right?
Oh, the next one is the collab with the Generative Dungeons is pretty cool. Will we be seeing more cross-collab events with other NFT projects in the future?
Yes, I think this is very cool collab, and I think it's super exciting. But we definitely are going to be trying to push for more cross collab with other projects in the space, just simply because it's pretty cool, right? It's pretty easy to be able to see what people can do and how they can overlap SVS with their product and project, and how we can do the same thing with us. So yes, I do think that it is super, super exciting, and hopefully we can get more of it done. We're just kind of going back to our roots per se, and collabing with other NFT projects are, in my eyes, a simple and very effective way to be able to boost our brand, boost our recognition, and also boost our outreach. So definitely things that we are focusing on further up the line. And last question.
Yeah, the last question we have for today is, are the current market conditions demotivating to you guys as a team?
Okay, so this is something that maybe is asked by some of the newer people about the market conditions and how we feel, are we motivated, blah, blah, blah. So the short answer is no. Market conditions are not demotivating at all. Obviously, when market conditions are ideal and they're good and things are flowing, they're very motivating, but it doesn't make a difference to us whether market conditions are up or down. We all have goals set in mind from the very beginning about SVS. This is a minimum 5 to 10 year full-time commitment from all of us, and it hasn't changed at all. I think it shows a lot and says a lot, not only about us, but our community as well, that through bad periods like this with the economy and the market, we show up week in, week out. We see so many of you guys show up as well. You guys keep in touch with us. We always expand and see what can be done. And for a fact, everything that we do now, irrespective of how the market conditions are, will lay a very strong foundation for us to succeed and prosper once the market conditions take a turn for the more positive outlook in the future, right? Step by step, Rome wasn't built in a day, blah, blah, blah. And it just goes it's the same kind of concept, right? We still work the same amount of hours almost every day. We focus. We have obviously stuff going on in real life as well, but we do SVS full time. We take tons of calls, AMAs, we do tour spaces, and we work on trying to push out new things for everyone to be excited about. Obviously, not everything can be released in a market conditions like this because they do lose their impact. But at the end of the day, we try to push out as much as we can during these times. And then obviously, it's that's the plan. There is no quitting on our end at all. We all have goals that we set in mind for SVS, and then we will be doing everything we can within our power to achieve that, achieve all of them across the next years to come. So I hope that is good enough answer on a nice positive note to close out this week's AMA, and I hope everyone is happy. If time permits, please share any snapshot / proposal / vote updates. Okay, no worries there to go. I shall note that down, and then we shall get that sorted as we go on. Thank you, everyone, for the kind words. Hello, Jax Teller. How are you? I am tired. Yeah, it's 4:30 a.m. Just finishing up the AMA. Hope you've had a good day, my friend. But at the end of the day, it's always a pleasure to be here with all of you guys. Yeah, hard work is not something that anyone should seek praise for or complain about at the end of the day, right? It's just part of the process, and we're just happy that we have people to work hard for, right? Which are you guys. So appreciate all of you. We shall be seeing you guys soon. A little bit short today on the AMA side of things, but there's no hands up, and I'll be seeing you guys in 2 days anyway. Actually, it's less. It's like 36 hours or some shit. For the Twitter Spaces on Friday with Generative Dungeons, right? Big Friday in the works. You'll hear the 2D's morning voice. Very raspy in the throat. What time? It should be 8 p.m. EST, but we're waiting confirmation. I am trying to push it back a little bit more, just so I can not wake up at some obscene hour, because that's 8 a.m. for me, and it's insanely obscene. Because I sleep at like fucking 6 a.m. every day because SVS, right? It's already 4:40 now, so hopefully we are at a more decent time. We asked for the last slot of their event, end it with a bang as always, and yes. On that note, I think we're good here, right, guys? Can we get a yup ready, please?
Yup, yup.
Yup, yup.
Yup. And okay, on that note, thank you, everyone. We love you all, and bye-bye.
Bye bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye-bye.